Hello and welcome. Author Yusuf Tijani here once again for My Mission, My Vision talk show. Today, I have with me a very important guest in the person of Dr. Ibrahim Nai. I am sure what we are going to discuss this morning will go a long way to help the youth of Ghana, Africa, and the world at large. If you are here with me, I will encourage you to stay and enjoy today's program. Remember, it is about self-development and entrepreneurship. Not just that, in Doctor's introduction, you will understand some of the important things you are going to obtain from today's conversation, i.e. interview. So without wasting much time, let me quickly welcome Dr. Ibrahim Nai. Doctor, you are welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. So I would like us to have a little background on Doctor. So, Doctor, can you please give us a brief introduction of yourself?
Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity. My name is Ibrahim Nai. Ibrahim Nai is working with Ghana Copyright Administration as a research officer. I also work at my consultancy, CIPD, Center for Intellectual Property Development in Ghana. I work as a consultant to many organizations, including academic institutions. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Doctor. In fact, I am sure Doctor is one of those important personalities that do not want to mostly show their qualifications or achievements a lot. So with this little introduction, I think, well, we are going to manage with that. All right. So Doc, today we are going to talk about self-development and entrepreneurship. Today the youth is a little bit confused as to what to do. Most of whom are in school today, they don't even know whether they should further their education or they should quit because of the current unemployment situation in our country, which is why programs like this are very, very necessary, to benefit from. So to begin with, we would like to know about My Mission, My Vision. My Mission, My Vision has been a book that talks about this self-discovery and entrepreneurship issue, and the book has been in existence since 2018. All right, so trying to uncover the secrets in the book. You have read the book, I believe.
I've done that.
Yes. So can you please tell us a brief review of the book?
Yeah, thank you very much for these wonderful questions. My Vision, or My Mission, My Vision is a very wonderful book authored by Mr. Tijani. And reading the book, I think the book has been my companion since I obtained a copy. This is a very good book authored by a young man who is residing in Ghana and is thinking like somebody who is outside Ghana. My mission, my vision, if you look at it, I will have to take a quotation from one philosopher who says that imagination is more important than knowledge. And if you look at this book, I think you have taken it from that particular source. Imagination is more important than knowledge. We go to school, we learn, we forget. But then we fail to understand that learning is not a matter of going to sit in a classroom and obtain knowledge. Sometimes one could not even have access to education, but you have knowledge. So if you look at the book is trying to preach a gospel of knowledge. That is the importance of acquiring knowledge, either in a classroom or without a classroom. So reading the book, you would get to understand that there are certain hidden potentials that we have, but because we are unable to identify them and work them, we sit aloof and opportunities are wasted. So if you look at this concept of my mission, my vision, it asks you so many questions. You are embarking on a journey. Do you ask to know much about those who are returning from the journey? That is a question that it asks, or that is a question it poses to so many people. As a young people, we go to school, we complete school, we come. into the job market, but we do not find out what is happening in the world or what is happening within the world as far as job creation is concerned. So grabbing a copy and reading about it, at least one will be in position to identify your potentials, work at your potential, and at the end of the day, you brighten the world.
Wow.
And if you look at one socialist or one sociologist who says that people must be given opportunities. They must be given what's the name? An opportunity to areas that they think they can fit well, so that their best can be unearthed to the development of the world.
Yeah.
And that is what we should all be thinking of doing.
Yes.
Thank you very much for this.
In fact, that is a wonderful review on my mission, my vision. I guess our audience will take a note from that. But then, now we are talking about book. And book comes with, reading, yes? So, since I launched this book, and even before launching the book, what I've been hearing, most of the comments is that, okay, the book is good, but, people down here don't like reading, right? So a lot of people, they say, people can't read, people don't like reading. So when you put information in the book, the black man, the African, the Ghanaian will not even attend to the book and even get the necessary information in the book. So I would like us to get from your experience and your advice to the upcoming youth, what are some of the importance of reading? Okay, yeah. So what can one gain from reading or reading books like this?
Reading is very important to everybody, and we need to understand the stature of a man. We eat to survive. Our system needs food to survive.
Right.
It's equally the same that our brains need reading to survive.
Wow.
So the food, water for the brain is reading.
Right.
So it's very important. The moment you begin reading, it expands your scope of thinking.
Right.
Your thinking about the world changes.
Right.
You read to understand the views of others who have come and gone. And you also read to understand the views of others who will come and go. So reading is very, very important. And I advise the youth to take reading very serious. It is not only in the classroom that we read.
Right.
The world itself is a demonstration of how we should be reading.
Okay.
Are you getting that? Not only what we see in books, is what we read. There are so many lessons that we see in the world that teaches us how to read.
Wow.
You understand? You look at somebody's character and you begin to analyze the person, and the point of analysis, right from beginning analyzing the person, you are reading the person. Are you getting that?
Yes.
No matter of something that is arted, in literal terms in books, that we read.
Yeah.
The world itself is a full of very interesting lessons that we see, and we read them, interpret them, and it guides us to where we are going.
Wow.
So reading is very, very important. And if you want to really think and think well, reading will help you to do so. A brain that reads thinks differently from a brain that does not read.
Wow.
That is the difference.
Wow, I like that.
Are you getting that? If you listen to people, those who read and those who do not, you are able to decipher between the one who really have an expanded scope of thinking and then one who has a very limited scope of thinking.
Yes, yes.
And there's a saying that if you want to hide something from a black man, you put it in a book. In this part of the world, our people are not interested in reading. And that is the bane of our problem as a society.
And I think I'm really interested in this point, because that brings me to my next question actually. So why, with all this importance of reading, okay, we've heard a lot about, many great men have talked about how important it is to read, just as you are mentioning right now. So with all this importance, why do people down here feel reluctant to read?
You see, the basic concept here is that people want shortcuts.
Okay.
Quick to amassing wealth, quick to making money. I get in that. That has come to nullify the habit of reading.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to, acquire wealth within a twinkle of an eye. You send a child to a school, class 6. From there, if the child is able to read and interpret basic words in English or whatever language that he's reading or whatever language that he's studying. The next thing is to search for money at that point in time.
Wow.
Are you getting that? So because of that, we place value on the fact that when you finish school, the next thing is to look for money. Or when you are in school, the only thing that comes into mind is that you are going to make money. Are you getting that? So if that concept is bring to bear on the younger generation, it kills their zeal in reading.
Wow.
Are you getting that? Because if you think that the end result of what you are doing is money, you will be quick to take that decision at a time that it is not right for you. So many people in school, even whatever they are giving them to read, they are not interested in that. They want to run and get whatever wealth they want quickly. And because of that, you see that it has brought a second generation that are not interested in reading. In the past generation, people were interested. You could have a lot of people who sit down and throw challenge to each other that go and read this number of books, go and read this number of books. At the end of the day, they sit to discuss. Are you getting that?
Yeah.
Concept that people have imbibed from the sources that they have been asked to read. Today, it is not there. In those days, readings were source of pleasure, source of knowledge. Are you getting that? Today, we are not getting that. Are you getting that? And that is a serious matter. If you want to expand your scope of thinking, your analytical ability, you need to read.
Wow.
Are you getting that?
Wow.
And the moment you cease reading, the brain also ceases thinking.
Wow.
That's the reality.
This is powerful. I think I raised a point in my mission, my vision, some few points about how to discover one's potentials. And by so doing, we said to discover your potentials, you must first of all cut off the media and television for a while, and then you break away from an unproductive culture and you believe in yourself. Do you think breaking away from television and media and, you know, breaking away from an unproductive system has something to do with reading?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's a subculture that is emerging. We watch TV, and what we see there is culture of others. Are you getting that? And we try to be like others, but we do not ask ourselves question: how do they get there? Are you getting that? Every young person will want to have a TV set in the room.
Wow.
Are you getting that? And all the information that pours out from the TV are the Western culture. Are you getting that? But then we do not ask ourselves, how came about the TV? Somebody invented that.
Exactly.
And that has to do with the brain's work. Are you getting that? So we prefer, consuming the products of others. But we fail to ask ourselves questions. How did those products came into being?
Wow.
It came through extensive thinking and reading. Are you getting that?
Yeah.
The one who invented a TV, how did it came about?
It's a question.
It's a question. It's a big question.
Yeah.
Was it sleeping and suddenly he saw that there was a TV in front of him?
Absolutely not.
A lot of things had to go into that
Of course.
before the person can begin thinking about bringing a particular, device to solving a problem in a society. And the basis of that is reading.
Wow.
If you don't read about the world, how do you know that this is what the world needs at a matter of time? Are you getting that? And that is why Face of All started by using Albert Einstein's statement that imagination is more important than knowledge.
Exactly.
Are you getting that?
Yes.
The concept of knowledge is born by imagination. Are you getting that?
Yes.
You have to sit thinking about the world, right? Then it brings about a thought that you will put into writing that becomes a knowledge.
Yes.
And he continued to say that imagination is about the future. But knowledge is about yesterday.
Exactly.
Are you getting that?
Exactly.
You read about their views and aspirations because you want to know what happened yesterday because you were not there.
Exactly.
But tomorrow, you are sure that you'll be there tomorrow to know what will happen.
Wow.
Are you getting that?
Exactly.
And tomorrow, yesterday is what makes tomorrow good. Are you getting that? If you don't know what others have done, you wouldn't be in position to know what tomorrow will be.
Exactly.
And that is what our youth have failed to understand. Are you getting that? If you hear about Nelson Mandela, Kwame Nkrumah, and many other
Buziers,
exactly.
Buzier and the rest
How
of
do you get to know about them and what they stood for at the time? You can learn about them through reading.
Exactly.
And if you don't read, how do you get to know?
You don't get to
So
know
that is the point.
You don't get to know.
I'm trying to make.
Yes, of course. In fact, and you see this, I don't know, I think there are most potential writers in our country, Ghana. You see, a lot of people, we have acquired at least some basic information that can help us put our ideas out there. Okay, so a few of us try to actually come out with something like what I have right now. Not as if the rest of the people or the bulk of the people do not have intentions to do so. You meet, many youngsters, they are interested in these things, but I mean, they feel reluctant to do so. Okay, so first of all, why aren't people writing, and how can we curb that situation, like help people or encourage people to come out with their ideas, put it in a written form so that it will help the rest of the people?
Reasons why people don't write is they don't read.
Wow.
It's a simple concept.
Yeah.
If you don't read, you can't write. What are you going to write about?
Of course.
You need to read about people's view. Read about concepts and theories. Read about philosophies. Are you getting that? That will broaden your knowledge to have enough stock of information to be able to come out to write something. That's why you see many doctors, many professors in Ghana, and they cannot boast of having a very good publication that can go across the world. That is the culture.
Yeah.
I get in that. So the beauty about reading is that as it's broadening your concepts, it teaches you what to do. So you cannot write if you don't read. What are you going to read? Write.
What are you going to write?
I get in that.
Yes, that is one.
You need to know much about what you are going to write. And if you don't read, how do you get to write? So the issue or the reason why many people don't write is that they don't read.
That is very perfect.
Exactly.
And one thing I've learned through reading is that once you are reading, it connects with your imagination. Exactly. It connects with your original ideas. And you feel like, this idea that I have has been in existence. And wow, so my idea is right. It's like it affirms it. So it gives you the confidence in actually putting your ideas out there, because knowing that, it is legit. A lot other people have done so. Don't you also think, Doctor, that most people also feel, okay, when I write, who will buy? Okay, people might not feel like buying, and because they are thinking money consciousness, right? And they are not. Don't you think that is also one of the reasons?
The moment you begin writing and you think of money, you fail.
Good.
I get in that. Writing itself, when you write a good material, it sells itself.
Right.
Are you getting that?
Right.
So the moment you put money behind your mind that I'm going to write for money, you will fail.
Exactly.
Are you getting that? Think of putting up a quality material, a quality information, well branded, that will attract the attention of the reader.
I.e., the problems your material can solve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you identify a niche, you identify a gap in the system, and you work towards bridging that gap.
Exactly.
Are you getting that?
Yes.
So the moment your gap becomes money, then it's a failure. Are you getting that?
Yeah.
Your gap should be a problem that you are going to solve.
Yeah.
It's just like diagnosing somebody, disease or sickness, and getting a solution through giving a drug.
Wow.
I get it. The moment you are able to diagnose the person properly, identify the right problem the patient faces, then you are working towards solving the problem.
Wow.
It's the same thing. If I want to read if I want to write which sector of a society that has a problem that I'm going to write on. I get it. That's the first thing you need to identify. So the moment you identify that there's a problem, there's a gap, then you are writing to actually bridge that gap. You are writing to actually solve that problem in the society.
Yes.
And when you write, definitely people who have those problems will come for your book.
Wow.
And in a way, you are making money in that.
Yes. I think I have personal experience with what you are sharing, because since I launched My Mission, My Vision, it has been performing in that regard, because most people who buy it kind of like, it helps us identify our potential.
Exactly.
It helps us to follow our dreams. It teaches us to start our own businesses and stuff like that, because that is actually the reason that encouraged me, not the money. Monetary, like it encouraged me, and now people are coming in and everybody is almost following My Mission, My Vision. Doc, we are really learning a lot from you. I would like us to take a short commercial break, and then when we come back, there are a few more important areas we need to touch to benefit from. Viewers, at this point, let's go for a commercial break and we'll be back. Welcome back, viewers, on My Mission, My Vision talk show. Still with Dr. Ibrahim Nai. You know, when you are with an experienced lecturer, you try to learn a lot, okay? If you are a man of understanding, you know, when you go close to intellectuals, you learn a lot from all their experiences. Being a lecturer and a businessman and all that, I think we, the youth, have this opportunity to learn so much from him. So stay with us. I'm going to get more and more information in many dimensions as we introduced earlier, all right? So, Doc, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Now, I want to know, you see, like myself, I think there are other writers out there, few writers out there who might not know much about your field, you know, the copyright issues. So I'll go straight to this one important question. Why is it necessary or important to obtain a copyright for your product?
Very important question. If you look at copyright as a word from the broader concept called intellectual property, the intellectual property system is a broader concept where we have industrial property and copyright and related rights. And we are asking a question on what are the importance of obtaining copyright. If you look at our current laws in Ghana, we have what we call the Copyright Act 690, 2005. I think that regulates, the way and manner copyright activities are protected in Ghana.
All right.
And if you look at the law, it tries to, you know, take a balance between public interest and individual interest.
All right.
I'll use you as an example. As an author, when you come out with a book, your interest is to obtain, or your interest is to realize some gains from whatever book that you have authored. But the public also have an interest to acquire knowledge and information. Are you getting that?
Yes.
They need to read. They need to understand what you authored as a scholar. Are you getting that? So the balance between the two is what copyright tries to actually look at. Are you getting that?
Yeah.
Now, when you look at the system of copyright in Ghana, and if my memory may save me right, there's a section called Section 39, and it makes emphasis on how rights are acquired when an activity is conducted. If you have an idea and you express the idea literally, your idea should be given protection by the laws of Ghana. And the law that gives you that protection is the copyright law.
Wow.
Are you getting that? Now, it's just like somebody who goes to farm to actually, you know, cultivate rice or vegetables. Are you getting that? At the end of the day, the outcome, the output of what the person gets is the farm produce, right? The same thing when you decided not to go to farm and invest your brain in writing. Are you getting that? At the end of the day, you must be able to recoup your investment in the labor that you have exercised over your creation.
Yeah.
In the investment that you have put in over that particular period of time, and the judgment and creativity that you have brought to bear in coming out with an excellent book for people to write, to acquire knowledge and information. Are you getting that? So the law protects you, your interest. Are you getting that? For you to have an exclusive right to exercise over a period of time, such that you can recoup your investment, it will serve as a motivation for you to have the interest in writing more books for people to enjoy.
Wow.
Are you getting that? And apart from that exclusive right given to you, it also gives you an opportunity to make an economic gains as far as the book is concerned.
Wow.
Are you getting that?
Of course.
So you have a multiples of interest, a multiples of rights that you derive from writing a single book.
Wow.
Are you getting that? You also have the right to be named as the author of the book per Section 6 of the law.
Wow.
It talks about moral right. The right to be named, the right to maintain the dignity of the author as far as the book is concerned. So basically, these are some of the benefits that one stands to reap when you author a book, when you come out with a logo, when you come out with a music, when you come out with a artistic design, when you come out with a statue, when you come out with what we call engravings, lithograph, and many have you. All these things, when you author them, when you create them, the law gives you the mandate to exercise over a period of a lifetime and 70 years when you depart into the next world. That is what copyright gives you.
Wow, this is powerful. In fact, viewers, if you are watching us and you are interested in obtaining copyright for any of your products, like any of your artistic works, just as he mentioned, you can contact us through this channel. For those who haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, okay? And then you can forward your questions in the comment section so that in our next interaction, we can continue with those questions with Doctor and many other important personalities we may be interviewing on this show. But Doctor, we are not done yet. You see, what you mentioned is very important. What if I say I am an artist, okay? I'm a writer or I'm a sculpture designer or whatever, and I decide not to have a copyright for my product. Let's say I decide not to have a copyright for my book. What will happen to me?
That's a very good question. You see, copyright, that is why it comes from the root word, copy and write.
Right.
It means that before you obtain a copy from that source, you need to have right to do that.
Okay.
You see, copyright has some rights it puts on the person who create, on the person who arted, on the person who owe. Are you getting that? And there are two basic rights that you stand to actually benefit. And I quoted a section, which is section 39. They are saying that the writer or the author, as soon as the person begins writing, he assumes an automatic right. And there's a common parlance that says that creation equals protection. The moment you start creating a book, you get protection. But then, why copyright? Why formalize your right? That is the very important thing there. I said earlier on that you have a right to exercise exclusively, negatively, multiply. When you create a book, you have multiple rights, and that is what we call economic rights, that you stand to benefit from the book. The right for distribution, the right to reproduction, the right to adaptation, the right to translation, the right to rearrangement, the right to rentals, the right to derivatives are all rights enshrined in the copyright law. And we call them bundles of rights. So if you don't actually obtain copyright, all these rights will go down the drain.
Wow.
Are you getting that? And the right to moral, that is the moral right aspect of the creation is very important.
Yeah.
The right to be named as the author of the work.
Wow.
The right to maintain your dignity and motivation as far as the work is concerned.
Wow.
Are you getting that? If we are talking about my mission, my vision, what comes into our mind is that somebody authored it. So if I say the book is authored by Hussein Muhammad, there will be a problem. Because Hussein Muhammad wasn't the author of the book, it was Yusuf Tijani.
Of course.
So the right given to Yusuf Tijani is the right to be named, the right of dignity.
Wow.
To maintain the status of the book. So any publisher who wants to take up the book should ensure that that particular name is maintained.
Wow.
These are all benefits of what? Copyright. Are you getting that? So the moment you write and you do not know that you have rights that exist in the book, you will lose those rights.
You will lose a lot.
And that is why when you open a book, in every page, we call it copyright page, they will say that all rights reserved. Copyright at 2021. Yusuf Tijani.
Wow.
All these are giving notification. It is preempting the reader to know that there are rights exist in this particular copy of book that I'm reading. So in case I go to photocopy the book for commercial purposes, it means that I am infringing on the rights of Yusuf Tijani.
Wow.
And the laws can deal with me.
Wow.
Are you getting that?
Yes.
So it gives people a particular, it creates their awareness that you cannot lay your hands on the book as far as copyright is concerned, unless you seek the consent of the person.
Wow.
So copyright is very important.
Very, very important.
Thank you.
Very, very important. And all these important rights that you mentioned, that if you don't obtain copyright for your product, then you lose it all.
Definitely.
It's very, very necessary to obtain a copyright. All right, so Doc, in my introduction or in the earlier stages of our conversation, I did mention that this platform is about, entrepreneurship, job creation and all that. And now that, recently our finance minister hinted that, the payroll is choked, or so that all the youngsters or the youth should not begin to think of how to create something for themselves. I want to ask a question. What do you think is the contribution of formal education in job creation in Ghana?
I think formal education has played a very crucial role as far as job creation is concerned. But then, formal education is not the only panacea to job creation. It plays a role. It introduces you to a system for you to expand. Are you getting that?
Yes.
You need to be literate to be able to read and write.
Of course.
And where do you get this literacy? You get it through a classroom.
Yes.
Are you getting that?
Of course.
The classroom will guide you to be able to identify your potentials. Are you getting that? To be able to become literate. Becoming literate means you can read, you can write. Are you getting that?
Yes.
I think that is enough for you to look for any job you want in this world.
Yes.
You know, earlier on, I keep mentioning Albert Einstein in his statement that imagination is more important than knowledge.
Yes.
You know why we have problems of unemployment in Ghana? We are sticking to the later, which is knowledge.
Okay.
Rather than the
imagination.
Are you getting that?
Yes. The thinking.
The thinking. Just mention any billionaire in the world today and ask what the person does.
Good.
All what they do comes from imagination.
Wow.
We are able to fly in the sky because of somebody's imagination. We are able to see somebody in a different country through imagination. Are you getting that? But what we do in this part of the world is that we are doing recycling of what others have done.
Exactly.
We read of theories, we read philosophy, we read mathematics, and that is the end. We acquire the knowledge, and the knowledge stops there. So if you take a child to a classroom, teach the child how to read and write, you can read fluently, you can write very well, but at the end of the day, what is the end result of reading and writing?
What is the end result?
Are you getting that? What is the person bringing to bear in society in solving a societal problem? Is the most crucial thing that we should be thinking about. So our educational system is such a way that it is creating people who can read and write, but it is not creating people who can imagine to come out with best solution to our problems.
To our problems and problem
and that is
solving.
where we are at the moment.
At the moment, wow.
Are you getting that?
Of course.
The human mind is very complex. If they tell you that the genius of time has never utilized beyond 2% of its brain, will you believe that?
I think I've heard this somewhere
Exactly.
before. Yeah.
Nobody has ever exceeded his capacity, brain capacity, exceeded in working beyond 2% of his brain capacity.
Yes.
That has never happened in the creation of man. It tells you that the rest of your brain is following, is wasting.
Yeah.
Are you getting that?
Of course.
If you can talk of the Lecatus, right? The Abraham Maslow's, the Albert Einsteins, and they could not exercise their brain beyond 2%. What of you and I today?
What of you and I today?
Are you getting that? So it means that God has created us and given us a brain, and the brain is for a purpose.
Yeah.
Are you getting that? And the purpose of the brain is to be imaginative in thinking.
Yes.
Are you getting that?
Of course.
Towards bringing something that will solve a human problem.
A human problem. So I think this point is very, very, very important, crucial, because, you know, there is a chapter in the book that says job creation via education versus job creation via problem solving. Exactly. And this is what you are just discussing in a summary form. Because, you know, if you cannot use your formal education knowledge to solve a problem, then you are not going anywhere.
Where are you
so basically what you are saying is confirming what is in the book that says that problem solving creates jobs.
Exactly.
So if you want to create job for yourself and for others, you have to think of imagining how you can solve problems, and that will create job in our society. Wow. Exactly. We are really learning. And before we go, I think I have this almost going close to the final question. But before then, please, you have already answered this question in your talk. That is how the youth can use their imagination, they can be innovative to build some entrepreneurial skills and character with regards to the lack of jobs in Ghana. I think when we start using this, it will help us a lot. And we have obtained so much from your experience. Doc, can you give us some final comments about my mission, my vision to the youth, and how to advise the youth on books like that?
My final comment is that we having a problem in the society today, and it is very important that we begin thinking of getting solution to dealing with the problem.
All right.
And one of the solution is this book that has just been added. And I think I asked the person who did write the book. Initially, when I got a copy, I tried to look. Sometimes you go through the bibliography of the person behind to find out how many universities, what university the person is able to attend before you can now begin to read the book.
Yes.
And I realized that the person who has authored the book was not interested in the number of universities that he attended, the number of certificates that he obtained, but he was able to write a book that can be measured at the level of someone who has a doctoral degree.
Wow.
People have gone through the academic ladder up to a point of acquiring self-actualization, becoming professors, but they cannot attack a single copy of a book.
Wow.
So this is just a guide. This is just an experience that a lot of people should look up to, right? They have to look up to it. No matter where you are, you still have an objective of coming to this world.
Wow.
And you need to work towards fulfilling the objectives. Like I was saying, this particular book that you have added, even if you don't make money out of this book, but the book will remain in the minds of people.
Wow.
That somebody has ever lived called Yusuf Tijani. And the person has left behind a footprint for yet unborn generation to go through and become people that will be useful to our society.
Wow.
So I encourage the young people to be imaginative, they should be innovative, and they should also be entrepreneurship inclined. If you look at the world today, the resources of the world is controlled by few entrepreneurs in the world. The certificate holders, the degree holders, the professors are working under these people who have not even been to Standard 6.
Wow.
Are you getting that? And that should be our guiding principle as young people of today.
Wow.
I think that is the advice.
You just mentioned a typical example is Coca-Cola Company,
Exactly.
Ford Industry, even Apple computers and all that. All of these creations or inventions were from imagination and not massive formal education or acquisition of that. Well, viewers, I think as much as I have enjoyed this conversation, I think you have also enjoyed it quite as well. And for most of you who want to get more from Doctor, I would like to personally request that Doctor puts his contact out there so that you can contact him personally. And not just that, through his contact, you can also visit his site or website and Facebook blog to get more of these insights, get more of the experience information that he shares with the youth. Very, very vibrant. He used to go to the universities across the country to share this important knowledge, and a lot of youth are proud of having him around. So, Doctor, please, can you put your contact out there for people to reach you?
Thank you very much. You can link me through my main contact. That is my main WhatsApp line. And it's 024 621
024 621
8886
8886
024
024
621
621
8886
8886. Wow.
You can also search by the use of my name, Ibrahim Nai Ishaku, through Facebook. You can also search through Instagram. You can get me through LinkedIn. You can get me all the social media handles
with the same name.
Exactly, with the same name.
Ibrahim Nai Ishaku. Ibrahim
When you
Nai
put it
Ishaku
in there, you'll see me in a picture.
All right.
And I always appear in the traditional attire with the hat.
All right.
In all my social media handle. That is the unique, dress that I put across in all my social media handles. So you can link up with me.
Right.
And you can also study, because I have a lot of information that I post into my especially my Facebook wall. Videos, I have short videos, I have short, articles that I write. I also write for many international platforms, and they do publish it online, which I attach to my social media handle. So you can read a lot as far as intellectual property management is concerned.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, viewers, this is where we draw the curtains, and I hope to meet you some other time. But don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get the update anytime we post a video. Until next time, bye-bye.